could be at danger because of the rhetoric?
Her life is in danger? Who's that?
Marjorie Taylor Greene, she says.
Marjorie Taylor Greene. I don't think her life is in danger. Frankly, I don't think anybody cares about her.
Meanwhile,
Marjorie Taylor Greene says she will no longer use political rhetoric that she's now calling toxic, and she's apologizing for previous derogatory comments she's made. Listen.
I would like to say humbly, I'm sorry for taking part in the toxic politics. It's very bad for our country. I am committed, and I've been working on this a lot lately, to put down the knives in politics. I really just want to see people be kind to one another, and we need to figure out a new path forward.
The Congresswoman publicly shared that she's been receiving a, quote, hotbed of threats she claimed were being fueled and egged on by the most powerful man in the world, President Trump.
Yo, what is good, YouTube? Welcome back to another video. I'm your host, the conservative libertarian here, and we're back with another one, man. Yes, sir. I told you, we're coming back. We're gonna be stronger than ever. All right, we're gonna be really putting our foot on the gas, man. I'm done with all the side tracks. I'm done with all the other things that are going on. I'm putting my main focus into this. I've been playing a lot of video games lately, and that's another reason why my time has been taken away from like doing this, because gaming is fun. It's starting to get fun again. New games starting to come out. Call of Duty just came out. I'm kind of liking that game, not gonna lie. Even though it's kind of ass, I still like it. I like the way how it feels. Hate me if you want. Moving past the entertainment part, let's get into some actual entertainment today. We have Marjorie Taylor Greene, right? If you don't know, I made a video on her a while back when she was starting to make her flip, on the GOP about, a lot of things like immigration, affordability, things that Trump is doing and saying and stuff like that. And she's starting to take a left turn to it. Not saying that she's pushing towards the left, because I think she's still a Republican. I think she still has a Republican mindset. But I think she is just going up against Trump because she doesn't like what Trump had to say about her. And Trump has said some pretty saying that she, has lost her way. She is a lunatic. She's a traitor. I think the traitor one, that's a little extreme. That's a little extreme one. Because traitor, the definition of a traitor means you're going against your country, which she definitely isn't going against the country. She's just going up against you, Trump. So that's the difference. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and get into what she had to say. She ran to CNN, State of the Union with Dana Bash. We all know Dana Bash, person who gives no pushback. She gets zero pushback. Okay. We're gonna see what she has to say to Marjorie Taylor Greene, whether or not she actually gives her any pushback about any things that she said in her past. So let's get right into this video. Let's do it.
Being here, as you just heard, and I know you saw, the president says he's withdrawing support for you, encouraging primary challengers. You were one of his biggest supporters. What do you think happened here?
Well, Dana, thank you for having me on, and that is true. I stood with President Trump when virtually no one else did. Campaigned all over the country, spent millions of my own dollars helping him get elected, and I think that's incredibly important. And I do support him and his administration, and I support them in delivering the campaign promises we made to the American people. His remarks, of course, have been hurtful. However, I have something in my heart that I think is incredibly important for our country, and that is to end the toxic fighting in politics. And this has been going on for years, and it has divided our country, split up friends and families, neighbors, and it's not solving our problems. The most hurtful thing he said, which is absolutely untrue, is he called me a traitor, and that is so extremely wrong. And those are the types of words used that can radicalize people against me and put my life in danger.
What do you think happened? What do you think is the reason for this?
I'll tell you my reasoning. I think what it is, I think he's just not really with you like that. Even though you probably supported him and he supported you in certain instances and stuff like that, there's words out there saying that she's trying to run for senator or governor for her state, or for a different state. I think state's Georgia. I don't know if she's a representative of Georgia. I think she is though. But she's trying to run for state and governor, right? And that's what people in her party are believing that she's starting to do. And that's why she's starting to make this like kind of a flip to like, make herself seem more moderate, when we know Marjorie Taylor Greene. We've seen her in Senate hearings. We've seen her in these, oversight hearings, and she is nobody to play with. She's nobody to trifle with. She will come at your neck, okay? And she will lay it on the line, to prove her point. And this just seems, I don't know, it seems forced. It doesn't seem genuine. And if you're trying to win voters, if you're trying to win people on the left or even the moderate left people, they're still not going to vote for you, bro. They're not going to vote for you. So I don't understand why you're even trying to capitulate to these people. Why did you go to running to CNN? I would have seen you running over to Fox, you know what I'm saying? But running over to CNN to score brownie points against Trump, please.
And that is shocking. And, I stand with these women. I stand with rape victims. I stand with children who are in terrible sex abuse situations. And I stand with survivors of trafficking and those that are trapped in sex trafficking. And I will not apologize for that. I believe the country deserves transparency in these files. And I don't believe that rich, powerful people should be protected if they have done anything wrong. And so I'm standing with the women, and I will continue to do my small part to get the files released.
You said on...
Well, guess what? Breaking news, right? Trump just said on Truth Social that he wants to release the episode. He's telling the GOP, hey, release them. Go ahead. Go ahead.
President Trump is now calling on Republicans to release the Epstein files, and a vote could come as soon as this week. What a change that is.
Mark Meredith is live at the White House on that with us. What's the latest, Mark?
Sandra, Brian, and Lawrence, it is a big U-turn for President Trump. He is now encouraging House Republicans to vote this upcoming bill in the House, which would basically compel the Department of Justice to release its files on the convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein, who died in prison back in 2019. Let me show you the post on Truth Social overnight. The president saying House Republicans should vote to release the files because we have nothing to hide, and it's time to move on from this Democrat hoax perpetuated by radical left lunatics in order to deflect from the great success of the Republican Party. Trump added, let's start talking about the party's record-setting achievements and not fall into the Epstein trap, which is actually a curse on the Democrats, not us. Now, the president has repeatedly called this Epstein probe, which has gained steam on Capitol Hill, even in just recent days, a hoax. We heard from House Speaker Mike Johnson over the weekend, who says this is all about politics, not transparency.
Remember, the Biden DOJ had every one of these files in their possession for 4 years, and neither Hakeem Jeffries or Ro Khanna or Thomas Massie or any of them ever said a word about it. President Trump has clean hands. He's not worried about it. I talk to him all the time. He has nothing to do with this. He's frustrated that they're turning it into a political issue, and it's not surprising because the Democrats have nothing else to talk about.
Perhaps one of the most dramatic moments we've seen in the past 48 hours or so is Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene of Georgia, who is a staunch supporter of the president, who has been out there publicly saying she wants to see these documents released and she's going to vote in favor of it. She and Trump are now in a war of words with each other, and he is being very critical of her, saying basically he doesn't want to see her in Congress anymore. He's not going to endorse her. He also said that the threats that she's getting, that he does not believe public safety is a risk for her. She says she's gotten a lot of threats from coming out in support of this. But Sandra, Brian, and Lawrence, there, I think, is another X factor in all of this going to happen. So the House will vote on whether or not to release the files. All indications are the votes will be there. It kicks it over to the Senate. We don't know what the Senate is going to do, whether or not it would actually get a vote there. And then there's always the possibility of a presidential veto, which would kick this issue back to Congress. And we'll see if the president has any more to say on the timeline of how that could happen when he speaks a little bit later on today.
I honestly think Trump doesn't believe he's going to get blowback, even though he's starting to get somewhat of a blowback from the emails that we saw. And the emails, like I said in my last video, the emails aren't incriminating like that. They just don't look good from a perspective, from just like a first person perspective. When you're just reading them, like, you're just like, why is his name even mentioned? Like, why are you being mentioned in this? Like, I thought you guys weren't cool anymore. So why is he still talking about you? But at the same time, too, if you read the other emails, it does come to, like, it makes you wonder whether or not Epstein even liked Trump, if he really was even cool with him after Trump claimed that he kicked him out of his Mar-a-Lago estate. Like, it begs the question whether or not Trump and them were actually cool and Epstein just had Trump's dick in his mouth, or Trump was still cool with him and Trump knew what was going on and he just chose not to say anything, which I like I said, I don't know. I can't say for certain, and I'm not going to sit here and defend the president because we don't know whether or not he truly knew or if he didn't know. I'm not taking what a pedophile said, and that's another thing too. The fact that the liberal media is even taking what a rapist and a pedophile said to as truth is ridiculous. We're taking what he says and like, oh yeah, this is factual. Everything this guy says is facts. What? And then another thing, we have no proof. Just because there's evidence, just because there's email, text messages saying that, oh, Trump was around the girl that claimed that Trump never did nothing to her. What is there? Like, we need more. We need more. And I want transparency. We need to get past this. The fact that they're even still dangling this over the American people's heads during this time after the government just got done with a shutdown is ridiculous. Why are we still talking about this? We need to move on. Release the files and move on.
X yesterday, quote, "It's astonishing really how hard he's fighting to stop the Epstein files from coming out, and that it really makes you wonder what is in those files." Are you suggesting there's something in the Epstein files that President Trump does not want Americans to see?
Well, I think that's the part that has so many people confused, is that the women themselves that I have talked to have over and over again said that Donald Trump did nothing wrong. Quite a few of them even told me they voted for him. And those are the women I would like to see in the Oval Office with support. I would like to see all of the women there with support. I have no idea what's in the files. I can't even guess, but that is the questions everyone is asking, is why fight this so hard?
He's not. What Trump is saying is that the way how Democrats are pushing this, it's fake. It's not, they don't really care. These little media outlets and the Democrats, they don't really care. Only thing they want to do is get dirt. They want dirt. This is a political game for them. You know what I'm saying? Like, people like Marjorie Taylor Greene said, Marjorie Taylor Greene says she wants transparency. She sides with the victims, right? Cool, right? That's amazing. You side with the victims, right? We need them. We need them because they are the pillars of what really went down during that whole situation. But at the same time, too, you have Democrats over here not really saying that they're siding with the victims. They're just like, Trump, why is his name in there? Oh, he's pushing back, saying that this is a hoax. This is a conspiracy when we know it's facts. He's saying what you guys are doing is a hoax. What you guys are pushing is a hoax. Like, you guys are trying to push the narrative that Trump did something wrong to these women when there's no evidence. There's no proof. Only thing you guys have are emails and text messages, which don't necessarily make it incriminating for the president. It just makes it seem like Jeffrey Epstein had Trump's dick in his mouth. He still was worried about Trump. He still cared about Trump. For some reason, we don't know why. But like I said, Trump just said on Truth Social, hey, release them motherfuckers. Release them. I don't care. Do it. Do it. He obviously doesn't care. So the fact that the liberal media is even pushing this propaganda to try to flip the script on Trump when, like I said, Democrats had power to do it. They had the power to release Epstein's files when they were in office. It just wasn't an imperative issue for them because no one was on their heads about it. Like I said, you can't be mad at the president for trying to, calm the situation down, trying to like bring it to like a sensible matter, because it's like like what they're doing is just like they're blowing this up when, like I said, they don't have concrete proof, but they're trying to incriminate the president. Like I said, the president needs to be suing. I think he's suing somebody. I think he's suing the BBC for some crazy stuff with them changing the way how the president said during the whole January 6th thing. He's suing them, but it's like, it's crazy that, these people on the telly are over here claiming that Trump is in bed with pedophiles. And it's like, bro, you need to get charged for defamation because you're lying. You're lying.
Before this blow up, you sort of alluded to this just now. You said you were confident the president wouldn't be implicated. Are you still confident of that?
I'm listening to the women. Those are the ones that are saying that he did nothing wrong. Virginia Giuffre even said under oath that Donald Trump did nothing wrong, and she wrote it in her book. So I'm continuing to listen to the women, and I think their voices should be the loudest.
The president said the reason that you have been critical of him is not necessarily Epstein, but because he pushed you not to run for the Senate or for governor in Georgia. How and when did he do that?
Well, that is absolutely not true. Actually, I never had a conversation at all with the president about running for Senate or running for Georgia. And those were decisions I came to on my own, that I don't want to have anything to do with the Senate. I think the past 2 months of the government shutdown should have shown America exactly why I would never want to be there. I think it's a very broken institution that serves the uniparty and doesn't serve the American people and how they vote. And I decided that I didn't want to run for governor this cycle either. I very much want to do the job that I'm in. Everyone else says I'm running for something, but all I want to do is serve Georgia's 14th district, and I'm very grateful for that opportunity.
So,
right. Okay. So we will see, Marjorie. We'll see whether or not you choose to, run in 2028. We'll see. But end of the day, right? Trump already called for the release of the files. He said it multiple times. He wants to release the files. The only reason why he's not conforming or capitulating to liberal media is because, one, he doesn't have to, and then two, like I said, they're in bed with the Democrats. They're in bed with this propaganda arm to try to smear the president. And the fact that Marjorie Taylor Greene went on CNN to give them a handout to be like, yeah, Trump is being kind of weird about it. And he's attacking me because I want transparency, when he's not attacking you on transparency. He's just attacking you on the way how you're flipping. You're flipping. And it's like, and I don't think that Republicans should be at arms with the president. Like, the Republicans should be independent thinkers. They need to independently think for themselves and also think about their constituents and who they're representing. But at the same time too, it's a team player. It's a team game. You know what I'm saying? How is it the Democrats can be on the same team for everything? You know what I'm saying? Except for some Democrats. There's maybe 4 or 5 moderate Democrats, maybe 6 Democrats that are moderate but outside the party. But if you watch the government shutdown and the vote that happened, there were still over 200, at least 200 Democrats who still voted no on the government shutdown. They still voted no. But there was 8 or 7 Democrats that voted yes to end the government shutdown. Why did 200 Democrats still vote no? It's because they are in line with each other. They're in it together. You know what I'm saying? But we have a lot of people in the Republican Party, right, who are in it for each other. They're in it for their own personal means and stuff like that, which you can say that on the Democrat Party side too. A lot of them are in it for their own personal gains and personal means. Chuck Schumer and Hakeem Jeffries, AOC. Say Bernie, a lot of these people are in it for their own self-grandizing and to put themselves up on a higher pedestal to be above everybody else. But at the same time too, we are supposed to be, the Republican Party is supposed to be unison. They need to, even though they don't agree on everything, and they shouldn't agree on everything, but they still need to come to a commonality and common sense, centered about where they're going and how they want to run the country. And I'm just saying, Marjorie Taylor Greene, you're not doing the Republicans any favors by coming up on CNN with Dana Bash and trying to capitulate to the liberal media. You're not scoring brownie points with the leftists, and you're definitely losing with your base. You might lose re-election all entirely with this. I'm just saying. And I don't consider myself to be an avid voter. I'm just a political watcher. I watch the political landscape and I just watch and see what's happening. And I can tell you straight up that, Marjorie, you're gonna lose on both fronts. I'm telling you, you're gonna lose on both fronts. This isn't the game that you want to play. Okay. But let me know what you guys think down in the comments down below, whether this was an L or a W. Let me know. I would love to hear you guys' feedback, and let me know what you guys feel about Marjorie Taylor Greene, whether or not she's speaking some truth or whether or not she's just out here trying to capitulate to the left. Me personally, I think it's a little bit of a, she's bending the knee to the liberal media. But at the same time, too, it seems like she is trying to separate herself from other Republicans who may not agree with her stance on where she's coming from when it comes to all this stuff, even though a lot of Republicans do agree that we should release the Epstein files. There should be a release on those. So, hey, let me know what you guys think. But as always, I'll catch you guys in the next one, man. Peace.